Well, they've got a passion for the paranormal and they ain't afraid of no ghosts. From Haunted Auckland, welcome Mark, Karen and Barbara.
Hello.
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 Is business booming? I mean, how haunted are we in Auckland?
It's actually getting quite hectic at the moment. We've been getting quite a bit of exposure, so our name's getting out there, so people are starting to come forward now and tell us their stories.
How did the need for the business come about?
Just from our own general wanting to find out answers, really. We all have experiences through the past, and we're just seeking answers, yeah, so we just go out there and look.
Do you all have a sort of a deep set interest in this, something that you've always kind of wondered about? And I know you've been researching the paranormal for many, many years.
All my life, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all my life as well. I can remember as a small child being sent home from people's houses because I've set up little seances with the other children.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, definitely lifelong.
And you guys have lived, both of you, in houses that you feel have been inhabited by others?
Yeah, definitely. I grew up in a house that I experienced a lot of unexplained activity.
Like what? What sorts of things?
From the time I was 6 to when I was 19, my sister and I both experienced similar things in the house that we grew up in. You're talking about shadowy figures moving around the house, items that you had left somewhere disappearing and then reappearing again later on, sounds, feelings of fear, feelings of dread in certain rooms as well.
So how does it work? I think maybe I've got something going on in my house I'm not so sure about. I phone you guys up, you come in the dead of night or something with your torches, or how does it work?
Usually we'll just come around whenever it suits you, and we'll just sit with you and talk and hear your stories and find out which rooms are the most active.
Yeah.
Find out what's been happening, what you think has been happening, what you've been sensing and feeling and seeing, and then we just set out with certain equipment to try and measure those occurrences.
What sort of equipment? Like these things that you've brought in here?
Well, there aren't any official sort of ghost hunting tools that you can use, but because the paranormal is based around a lot of theory, we can actually go out and try and use a lot of tools that are actually out there through like electrical tools and gadgets that are actually out there in the market to try and use to try and sort out our theories.
And you have day jobs. This is just something you guys do.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
You don't charge.
No.
And because you can't, because
it's an unknown science, really. We don't feel it's right to charge for something that isn't really a known yet.
How many times, in terms of when you go out and visit people and see their homes, how many times do you actually find something? Can you mostly explain things away as normal activity and you find out what the cause is?
I think in most properties that we go to, we've been to a property where lots of things were happening. The children were all very frightened. Everybody was sleeping downstairs. And certainly in one of the girls' bedrooms, we did find that where the girl was sleeping, there was a very high level of electromagnetic field right behind her bed. And that has been shown in the laboratory to induce feelings of fear, of being watched. And so for that particular situation, one of the things that we did was to recommend actually moving the bed to a different part of the room.
Did that help?
So in itself that might have helped. There were other things in the house that we couldn't explain, and we did actually do a cleansing for the family as part of it. Different members of the team have different techniques for doing that. My own personal technique would be to use the energies of the elements to actually clear the energies of the house or negative energies.
Do you verbally
from the
speak
house.
to things to do that?
You can do, and I have a couple of different bows in my quiver for attacking the situation depending on the level of cleansing that might be required. And actually in that particular property I had to go one stage further to get it to a level where the owners did actually feel comfortable in certain areas of the house. So there are rituals and things that I'm able to do as part of my own personal training.
Although in some cases, giving the people who live in the home the power to actually just tell whatever it is that is there just to go away, we don't want to.
Does it work?
It can in some cases.
What do you need to be able to do in order for that to work?
Basically, it's your home and you're the one who is living there. You let them know that they are not welcome and just go away, basically. And sometimes that can work as well.
Okay, very cool. Thank you so much for coming in. All the best. I hope business doesn't boom too much. I mean, there aren't too many splits around here. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. After the break, she's just cracked out the knitting needles. Asta is gearing up for the